Well, for a change, I'm going to do a little video outside. No one's around. It's lunchtime. And yeah, hi. This is me, lunchtime, not doing my normal, well, I probably do one at home as well. Just looking at my routine. I do this most lunchtimes. I sit, go for a walk, sit, read a bit, maybe a little meditation sleep. It's all good, but there's so much sameness about it. It's like exactly the same routine. And I was thinking about that with my videos. They are, and I don't mind doing it the way I'm doing it. I just do it in my room. I just do it when I work from home. But I need to break out of the cycle to get things done. And what I mean by that is I have all these plans, all these goals, all these targets, and I default to a routine that's good and it's healthy, but isn't necessarily testing me. And I say that from the perspective of, I was listening to a podcast last week, I think it was, and it's talking about the need to feel a bit uncomfortable. We all have to do things that make us a little bit uncomfortable in order to progress. I don't do videos, I'm looking around for people. I don't do videos outside because it's kind of uncomfortable. So I know that this is probably a good thing for me to do, to test my mettle, to test how the process of speaking to a camera is going, and research a bit, and yeah, just to kind of do things differently. So I have this laundry list of things I know I need to do. I'm always trying to find time to do these things. Then I realise my certain routines are, while good, are actually preventing me from doing some things I need to do. So I need to be a bit more open to using my time differently. And when I say use the time differently, it's just basically use my lunch times in a way that's more progressive. I have this habit of going to lunch away from the shops, the restaurants, the bars, not the bars, the restaurants, because I don't really want to bump into people from work, people from previous jobs, people from, people I know around about town. And while that's good, it's actually preventing me from testing this same idea of feeling uncomfortable. And you would say, why would you feel comfortable bumping into people? I mean, I'm not necessarily what you would call an introvert. I'm a partial introvert, but I just can't be bothered with small talk. But actually, once in a while, maybe I do need to test myself in small talk. Maybe I do need to kind of feel a little bit more awkward. There's awkward pauses, there's awkward silences. That actually might be good for me. So I'm going to start to try out a few different things. As I said, I've got a list of things I have to do in the next few months. Otherwise, well, the world isn't going to end, but I'm going to run out of contact lenses. I'm going to run out of, my work trousers are kind of starting to fall apart a little. I need to buy presents for my wife and my daughter. Birthday's coming up. And all these things are suddenly in the, I'm about to say rearview mirror, they're actually front and centre now. So in the next month, I have to do a lot of things. And again, these aren't earth-shattering things, but the more they build up, the more they build up, the more I don't do anything. So, yeah, why am I saying all this now? Again, I'm just filling up my lunchtime in a different way to normal. Kind of feeling slightly awkward. I say awkward, yeah, a bit awkward doing this in public. There aren't many people around, to be fair, but there are a few people who walk past. And you know what? They don't care. They don't know who I'm talking to, and even if they do see that I'm talking to myself, they're not going to go home and write this, tell all their friends and family that they saw this guy talking to his phone. No. So I've got to get off my high horse, my comfort blanket or whatever, and just do some things that are slightly more testing. And I say this also in the context of any of you who are job hunting. I'm not job hunting in work, but I know quite a few people job hunting who are older than 40, let's put it that way, 40s into 50s. And I know one guy who, made redundant and then was immediately on it, really properly looking for work, as in working his network, not just sending out willy-nilly emails or kind of applying to jobs you see in LinkedIn. Actually, calling people up, asking for meetings, booking in phone calls with individuals, and within a couple of months he found a job. Now that's, you might say, yeah, that's not so hard. I mean, he's an expat in this town which doesn't always embrace expats. I have other friends who are kind of looking, but making the most of their time off. And to be fair, when I wasn't working, I didn't bust a gut. I had some time to reflect on a few things. I spent time with myself, my girlfriend at the time, now wife, and it was fine. But I'm quite impressed by this friend who's just focused on it big time. He had a very clear vision, he had a very clear timeline. As I say, nothing sharpens the mind like the sight of the gallows, and he could see things would turn quite challenging if he didn't act right now. Is it the perfect job for him? Possibly not, but at least he's in a job, and the best time to find a job is when you're in a job, so he can go up, he can use it as a stepping stone. I think he had 3 offers on the table. That showed how aggressive his job hunting act was. Now, that might not translate to you. You might be in a field that doesn't allow for that kind of opportunity, and maybe you do want to take some time off, but I think it's worth just looking at how you can step up in times of challenge rather than necessarily just roll over or step back. And again, this is the judgment call. I also stepped back, and actually it kind of worked out in different ways for me. But think about those situations where there is a challenge, where you should kind of take the opportunity to test yourself, to push through the awkwardness of situations, and to do maybe things that you wouldn't want to do otherwise. Okay, that's it for me, but before I go, let me just give you a view of my environment. I'm in a park in a part of Hong Kong called Quarry Bay, Taikoo. Beautiful weather. It's like, I don't know, 30 degrees or something. There's a playground there, nobody's around, it's lunchtime, kids are at school, all that jazz. A few people walking around, a few high rises, look at that blue sky. Yeah, this is kind of cool. And so I sometimes sit in this seat just to kind of do a little bit of reading, meditation, but yeah, I know I need to press on with some targets. And again, this isn't to beat myself up. Turn around. This isn't to beat myself up, because I'm doing okay, and I don't want to feel that I have to always be optimizing for success. That's another thing. There's a lot of pressure to be always getting things done. I know I'm starting to contradict myself a little, but it's this idea that you have to always succeed, always have everything perfectly aligned. Actually, no. Can you hear that bird? Bit of a loud one. You don't have to have everything aligned. I think it's almost like that concept of fartlek, which I believe is a Scandinavian form of training for distance running. Very popular in the 70s, I think. Like interval running, but I prefer the name fartlek. A bit funnier. There's this idea that don't go at one pace all the time, but you're always moving forward. So you can have sprints, you can go uphill, you can go downhill, you can walk, but you're always moving forward towards the goal. So that's really probably what I'm saying. It's not like everything has to be perfect now. As long as I'm pointing in the right direction and moving in a direction, it's fine. Tortoise plus hare, different times, different vibes. Yeah, working in the right direction. Anyway, this is, as I said, an off-the-cuff video. I don't normally do them when I'm doing my work, but again, you've got to mix up life to kind of test yourself a little, feel the burn, be a bit stoic in challenges and see where it takes you. Okay, so I will do one last review of the world around. Still quiet. I might have to do a few more here over time, and bye for now.